got eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Web3 Breakfast, Jay James is the host with the morning. What's up, Jay James? Turbo made it co-hosting, yeah, they do their thing. If you savvy, Web3 GM, grab a plate and a seat, let's begin. If you got something to say, come and grab a mic. We got one rule, no douchebag, alright? Retweet the room, bring some friends. If you start the talk, you gon' stay to the end. Retweet the room, bring some friends. If you start the talk, you gon' stay to the end. Monday through Friday, we got the Sorrow. 10 a.m. Eastern Spaces with the purpose. All about the community focus, they deserve it. Come and speak your mind with no regrets, but you serve us. Pizza on Friday, working off midway. Get the blood pumping, Web3 music is thumping. I got eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Web3 Breakfast, Jay James is the host with the most. Retweet the room, bring some friends. If you start the talk, you gon' stay to the end. Retweet the room, bring some friends. If you start the talk, you gon' stay to the end. Good morning.
Yo, GM fam, how we doing? How we feeling? It's hump day. Happy hump day. Middle of the week. Almost done. Everybody's working for the weekend.
Hump day, baby.
Hump day.
Everybody's working for the weekend. And then that's the G right there. I mean, but are we working for the weekend, Jay? I mean, really, are we really working the weekend? Does it ever come? Ever?
I opened up the show on another tab for the Web3 Breakfast account. Oops. We got to hear that.
That's the ultimate loop, bro. That's like the ultimate loop.
That's like Groundhog. We just had Groundhog Day. If you missed the intro, guess what? You got it again. Twice in one day.
Scared the shit out of me, bro. I'm like, how's he doing that? I'm like, what the hell?
Is that me talking?
I thought my delay was that. I was like, damn, I got like a 3-minute delay now. Like, oh, this is never going to
work. Okay, so next time I got to remember to mute the tab beforehand because I don't need the audio coming out. Jeez Louise, man, it's like my first time. We'll get it one of these days. There we go.
That's all right. I was actually, I was talking with Jackson, which is the big boss's oldest son, and we're gonna do some construction. And he's like, will you teach me? I'm like, yeah, man. I was like, I'll teach you. I was like, if I was your age and I had skills, man, I was like, I would have been in such a different place because you can do work anywhere, anytime, any place. Like, you can do whatever you want all day long. You can always make money. And so he was like, well, like I don't know anything. Like I'm, just learning. I was like, look, I'm gonna tell you the secret to being a master carpenter. The secret of being a master carpenter is this. Is when you're able to cover your mistakes and nobody sees them. That's it. That's how you become a master. And so, like we're all going to make mistakes no matter how long we've been doing it. It's just how well can you recover from it? Because, most they just let the loop run for like 10 minutes. They ain't even trying to shut it off. They just like, well, I guess that's how we live today. We talk and then we're going to listen to it again. So, you're a master at this, Jay. We all have our days. And you woke up a little late this morning, might be a little.
Well, I mean, like it's all relative, right? Like maybe I just took a nap and I'm not really a napper, but it was one of those mornings like I was up early like I normally am, getting some work done. And then I think it was probably at like 7 or something. I hear my daughter, she was sleeping in our bed at that point. And so, I hear her start talking to my wife and I go, oh, let's go hang out. And so I went into the room, we were chit-chatting. And the next thing I know, I wake up and it's 9 a.m. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like I fell back asleep. I never do that. But it was good. I got a few extra hours, you know what I'm saying? Like, so now I'll probably be way too excited today.
No, man, that's going to be great. You're going to get stuff done because you have that extra little bit of juice. You get that extra octane in the tank. Roll. I don't think it really works like that, man. No, honestly, because I be trying to get good sleep all the time and it a nap and I just wake up feeling like shit.
Well, it's like there's like some weird thing about it, like because I have like forever my whole life, like I run on very very little sleep, and it's just you know, even as a kid, like my parents learned what the farm report was because of me, because I was up early and I was up late and I just never really needed to sleep. But there's like those times where you get like a little bit more than you normally do, and it's like bad for you. You don't feel the same, like you get like that weird groggy and you're like, what's wrong with me today? Like I'm sore. I just feel like I don't want to do anything. Like I got more sleep. I should feel great. Like, nah, just do your normal thing. Like don't get the extra sleep. You won't feel groggy.
Yeah, I mean, our brains are pretty lazy, all in all. You know what I'm saying? And so they just really just want to live it as easy as possible. You know, so if they could just get up at the same time, do the same thing, you start getting extra sleep or you start getting less sleep, then your brain's like, wait a second, what's going on here? So it is about routine, man, and it's consistency. You know, we see it like even in this space. You know, the more consistent that you are, more that you know, that you keep showing up and doing your thing, even if you are a little groggy or whatever. You know, that's when you benefit. That's when you win. So.
I think and whether, you know, whether it's metaphor or just, you know, how we relate things and whatever, right? Like I think it very much so applies to, you know, everybody's kind of got that groggy feeling in the depths of a bear market, right? Like we're all just kind of like, oh, when is my bag going to go up? Like when is this going to change? Like I am so ready for some excitement. I'm so ready to, like, you know, look at my portfolio and have it be going up versus either down or stagnant, or now we got to hear all this bullshit about, you know, everybody getting sued by the SEC because of whatever. You know, it's all just kind of, you know, making us feel groggy, I think.
Yeah, I definitely feel I definitely feel that, man. You know, it's like it's easy to be awake when things are winning. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's pumping, you know, and you're just running on adrenaline excitement. Yeah, it's easy, you know, but we don't have that same adrenaline, that same excitement now, you know, just because it's building, man. This is the work. Nobody wants to do the work. Everyone wants to reap the reward. You know what I'm saying? Right. We learned about that as kids, like the whole grasshopper and the ants. I think that was like the whole moral of the story, right? Like just put your work in, just keep working, and then, you know, you're gonna live good. I don't know if that's really works or not. Shit, that's just the one I went. I seen Cloud had his hand up, you know, and then I was like, yeah, shit, I'll throw a metaphor here. Cloud, what's up, family? How you living?
Nah, I was just listening to you guys talk. And first, what's up, Turbo? Good to see you as always. Nice to meet you, Jay Chains.
Nice
Seven. And just speaking on grogginess with being in the bear market, I think that, you know, this is where all the opportunity is, though. And it's about trying to force your mind to not be on that grogginess and, you know, implement discipline. And this is why you build your habits, because, you know, when everyone's not paying attention or when everyone's not, you know, fully locked in, that's when, you know, usually some of the biggest opportunities are, or it's just a really good time to put in hours and learn. You know, if I think about like what I was dealing with on my personal account, you know, I made a mistake accessing, you know, Wi-Fi and zapping all my stuff as I put it in there without looking at like the liquidity losses, because, you know, I didn't have that much experience with it. Yeah, Turbo, you get it. But because think about it this way, because we're in a bear market, that's like a loss maybe of like a couple $100. You know what I mean? So I can, you know, cover that. But like if we were in like the bull market and you're learning, like people are gonna be learning these same things in the bull market, and that could be like, you know, for the same amount of crypto loss, you know, $30,000 worth of crypto. And I'm not saying what things are going to be in the future or anything like that. I'm just giving an example. So it's like paying attention now and, you know, learning and being active and reading white papers and finding out what NFT communities you want to be a part of that aren't disappearing, or the founders aren't disappearing, and, you know, which coins actually have projects behind them. Like this is the opportunity right now to see who's really keep moving, and, you know, or just hanging around surviving through when, you know, interest is not, you know, at an all-time high.
Yeah, man, that is actual facts. It's been said before, and we've talked about on this show, and you'll hear it on other shows. You know, like the bear markets. We like to call them the build markets here, because this is the time to build. And just exactly what you said, this is opportunity time. And so, you know, you take these build markets And that's when you grow your network, you grow your relationships, you grow your brand, you grow your knowledge. And so this is, we talk all the time about the four currencies of the world, how, time is the most, the number one, right, is your absolute most precious commodity. So it's your time, your relationships, your knowledge, and then comes, actual money and stuff. And so as we see this all shift through this, again, build market, this is your opportunity. This is where millionaires and in some cases billionaires are made, because they're paying attention. And just exactly what you said, there are fun opportunities in the meme coin world, but that shit for the most part is not going anywhere. That is just to keep you entertained for right now. The big opportunity is, the coins that are way down, that are continuing to build. And like you said, the projects, like these are your opportunities now. Like, hey, say you want to get into the mutant apes, right? Like they're like 10 ETH right now. Like, they're usually in the 20s up to the 40s in the bull runs, right? Like, so this is your chance to like do something and make something in your crypto journey, and you have to take those opportunities. And one of the things that really I wanted to talk about, entitled the show, was embracing this volatility to ignite your best work, to ignite your best self, to be your best person. I mean, most of the time when we have our backs up against the wall, for most people, right, that's it's fight or flight at that particular moment. And so you take it and you either like grab out life by the balls and you fucking go with it, or you stand back and maybe let someone else take charge and you follow the lead. However it works for you, it works for you. And I'm not here to talk about anybody else's strategy. I'm just saying, for me personally in my life, we're at the bottom of the bear market. I think a lot of people's runways from the last bull market are starting to run low. And so now you've got to like, all right, it's shit or get off the pot time. How are we going to make this happen? So we just push forward. We just push. And, again, it's using these opportunities, using this time, because you're here with people that want to be here, right? Like the scammers don't show up at this point. Like there's really not, obviously there's a lot of bullshit that's going on with people sucking liquidity out of this market. And that is what it is. And, that for whatever reason, people got suckered into sending millions and millions and millions of dollars to just people for no fucking reason. But, that is, again, casualty of war here at the depths of the build market. But as we push forward, guys, we make those relationships and we come out ahead. And if we say it, and I will continue to say it, if you haven't capitulated, do not do it yet. Find your way to keep it going, because as we start to ramp up and we get towards the tail end of this year, things will be greener. It's the math. It's the happening. It's coming. We're a year away.
No, man, most definitely, man. I know I'm the same way. I do my best work, when my back's against the wall, when things are, up against, when I'm up against it, it's either perform or fail, right? And failure is not an option. But, I see Al Chimpone got his hand up. What's up, Al?
Turbo.
Long time no see.
I've missed you. And I just want to come. I saw you were hosting a space today. I got a little bit of news, and I wanted to let you know. It's directly related to Chantel, right? After a long time, I don't know if any of y'all have heard of Quant. They actually have a token, QNT.
Mm-hmm.
I've partnered with Quant to create a marketplace that is going to be a competitor to OpenSea and Blur. Chantel will be releasing her music on that marketplace as one of the first collections. And I wanted to know if it was okay if I shared a little bit of music that was going to be on her album, or her first album that is going to be on our marketplace.
Yeah, Jay, we do have our workout coming up in about 15 minutes. We every 30 minutes we do a workout. If you definitely want to, if you'd like to, drop one of Chantel's track for that workout, we could definitely probably do something like that. I think that'd be fine. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it. We love Chantel. I think that'd be great.
Awesome. Yeah, man. I'll stick around. You let me know.
Perfect.
Yeah, so, it's going to be at, we'll do
10:30 Eastern. Yep. I don't know what time zone you're in, but in about 15 minutes.
Cool, man. Yeah, man, I'll stick around.
And congrats, man, on the partnership and stuff like that, still continue out here to move and stuff, man. It's always good to see you still out in the spaces and stuff. Always feel free. Welcome to the Web3 Breakfast Club. We do this every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's also a great time, guys, if you're listening in. Reach down, retweet out the space. It sounds like we're going to get to hear some unreleased Chantel music. I know she has like a whole gang of tracks that have not even been, haven't been released. So you guys are definitely going to have some special treats there. And, having this conversation, just about like our backs against the wall, in the bottom of this bear, things to expect. We do have some. Are we gonna do some house cleaning, Jay, before we jump into it too much? We're right at that 15-minute mark.
You know, we can talk about some things really quick because, you know, one of the things that we do like to track is the NFT Go.io market sentiment. And we've been hanging out at like 18 for the last like several days. Well, overnight we hit 24. So maybe some of that liquidity is coming back into NFTs. You know, we had been looking at that blue chip index, you know, really steadily go up over the last 7 days. Remember, if we zoom out on the 30, that thing was looking down and out, but then all of a sudden made a resurgence. And so, again, you know, I love to see the sentiment pop up. You know, we're back into the 20s. That doesn't make me feel great, but it makes me feel good. We're cool versus cold. I do love that. And then you're starting to see more buyers, you know, on that 24-hour timeline pick up. So that's good. We're still a lot of people in the loss over the last 30 days, but you know, that can totally be expected. But definitely, you know, looking forward to seeing when we get back into the 50s, man. I want to see this thing stay warm. We never saw it stay warm. At 51, it still said cool.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. I mean, like, are NFTs dead? Like, I was thinking about that last night. You know, like,
not at all.
Like, man, name a project that's coming out the next week.
I actually don't know. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I have not bought an NFT in like, I bet I haven't bought an NFT in months. In the last like month and a half.
But see,
not,
you know,
like outside of like, you know.
To me at this point, like there's really nothing coming out. Nothing could come out, and we'll hear of something that does come out that is like totally different. As far as, you know, collections that, you know, just to spur up. And, you know, the thing is, like, I'm still buying beasts, right? Like I bought another one the other day. Because I see their vision. You know, like now I see where they're, I mean, not that I haven't before, but like, you know, you can see what the whole model is and where they're trying to go and how they're building their brand, where they're trying to reach to, what, you know, what verticals they're building. And so, like, man, I get behind that shit. Like, why am I going to spend now money on a speculation when I see something that's physically happening? I've been to an in real life event. It was probably one. Listen, it's going to sound crazy. I had an amazing time at Ape Fest. I had a fucking great time at the Kid Called Beast party. Like, and you know, Ape Fest was obviously 3 days. It was a totally different vibe. It was a different thing. But like, for who I got to actually hang out with, because, you know, whether it was just more intimate, whether I've just done a better job of inserting myself into the AKCB community, you know, I was hanging out with a lot of friends. And at Ape Fest, I wasn't hanging out with a lot of friends. There was a couple buddies there. You know, it was a different vibe. But to me, like, I feel like I will remember that AKCB party more for, you know, just kind of that collaborative effort and being able to, you know, hang out with Raspy and Crad and talk to them and actually have a conversation. Like, you know, I didn't get to talk to Gordon Goner. I never saw him. I didn't talk to any of the, you know, the founders of BAYC at Ape Fest. And so, you know, it just hit me differently. It was a different vibe. So like, to me, that's where I feel more confident putting money into a project where I see it's going. And I feel like I'm more embedded into the community than buying a speculation that pops up right now.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that last night, and we're working at Web3. I see we definitely have a hand. You were kind of talking about that, right? Like, if you go to these places and you're hanging out, and these people don't receive you, they're not your people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're hanging out and, you know, the vibe don't feel right, like, that ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it moving. You know, like, instead of like, you know, getting wrapped up, be like, oh man, I went to this, and, you know, like, and coming back to, you know, like our community and being like, oh man, you know, these people, they suck, you know. Just don't hang out with them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important.
Hey, good morning.
What's up, Silver?
What's up?
Good morning, Silver.
GM. Just working.
Man, we got to hear that train, blowing in the back.
Yeah, buddy. You'll hear me washing bay floors here in a minute if you ain't careful if I don't turn my mic off. You said that there's nothing really out there. Are you forgetting something? I mean, what about BAM? What you think about BAM?
Oh,
so there's a lot of hype going on.
Yeah.
That's an NFT coming out, gaming, and
yeah, I think the NFTs are probably going to be coming out next month. I think I could be wrong on that, but I'm sure there'll be some more information coming out soon. I mean, listen, I am definitely excited about what BAM has got going on, but that's kind of on a different level because I'm just more intimate, involved, you know, in the executive area with it. But I'll tell you what, I am very excited about what's to come with, you know, the game, the animated series, you know, all the things that are happening, you know, with the studio that they're building. I think that's going to be fantastic. But, you know, Yeah, and not like a PSP collection kind of thing.
Don't mean to put you, throw you under the bus like that, but
No,
I
man,
had to. I was like, he's going to skate right past it.
No, you're good. You're good. No, you guys know I'm involved, man. I'm in that Telegram chat. I'm in there every day. I'm in the Discord. So yeah, no, BAM is not out. I'm fully in there. I haven't sold. I'm thinking about actually buying some more, just so you know.
Well, good. That's Patrick and them are in here, so I hope to hear something real soon today too. I hope.
Oh my goodness, that's something.
Oh no, I did buy that.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
I did buy that.
That pre-sale ends today, so you guys, if you did get a chance to listen to that interview that we did, or it wasn't really an interview, it was just a conversation last week here on the show. We can definitely make sure that we link it and post it up here so you can listen to it, or if you want to get involved, make sure that we got the sign up link. It ends today. And this is not something I would miss. I'm not missing it.
Yeah, and if you are in the Web3 Breakfast chat group, you guys have access to getting those sign up sheets to be able to pay for your cereal and be able to get involved in that. That's something you guys are interested in. And if you're not a part of that group, this would be a great time also to reach down to that blue button, hit that, and just leave a comment there like, hey, I want to get in that chat group. And we'll do everything to get you guys in there. Clout, you had your hand up first, and then we'll swing over to Grateful and see what's up, guys. GM. Clout, what's up, family?
GM.
Yeah, I was just saying, I wasn't going to mention this, because I don't always show when I come into new, rooms. But if we're talking about NFTs to be aware of, we do have an NFT out right now called Clout Keys, which is our basically our first NFT that we ever dropped. Beautiful art. And really, if you hold this NFT, every NFT that we drop going forward, you get one for free. And, we always are thinking about different ways to benefit our holders. Like right now, we're about to drop Clout Coins soon. We can't make any promises because, our NFTs are not securities, but I think it's a good idea to hold those. And yeah, I'm not going to go too deep, but just putting that out there for anyone looking for a new NFT project. Feel free to talk to me anytime you want. I'm always available if you have questions.
Yo, man, most definitely. Yeah, definitely appreciate that, man, for sure. Yo, Grateful, what's up, family?
Yo, what's up? GM to everybody in here. I was a few minutes late hopping in here, so I apologize if this got brought up. But speaking of new stuff, because it sounds like you guys don't know of anything exciting going on, Titan has just been killing it, man. And the public mint for alpha is this Saturday. And it's looking like there's going to be a lot of benefits to the shards and staking the shards. And as far as an NFT collection goes, it's pretty limited. It's only a 2,000 piece collection, and 1,000 of those are reserved for executives. So, and I mean, public is public. So there's a lot of people in the community that are super hyped and that are executives. So I would imagine a lot of those people are going to be minting during public too. And they're hanging on to 300 out of the 1,000 in the public mint. So there's really only going to be 700 that are up for grabs on Saturday. And then also Bullish, he's not really being super clear on where to go on Twitter, but he's doing a 100-piece ordinal collection that you can get into through the Telegram. And there's some things tied to that. He hasn't gone into a lot of details about it yet, but I do know one of the things he's doing, he's dropping about $50,000 in altcoins to the Bull Bitcoin ordinal holders. But yeah, that's only a 100-piece collection, and I've been watching those on Magic Eden and everything. I've got a handful of ordinals right now. I have 6 of them, but the 100-piece collections just fly. I mean, they go quick. So he's trying to mince it out before he actually starts putting information up on Magic Eden about it. But yeah, both of those, man, I'm super excited for the next few weeks. Network and I mean, really just the whole month of June. I'm psyched about it. So, but I would not sleep on the alpha shards, dude, because Titan is getting people amped up about that.
No, yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know why. Like, I was thinking like just pure NFTs. I think that's kind of what I was thinking about there. But no, I am definitely an executive in Alpha. I am super excited about that. We actually gave away. I had talked to Titan, and we got the opportunity to give away 5 of the pre-sale spots to members of the Web3 Breakfast community. So I did reach out to those people privately, and I did, collect the information, got that over to Titan. We talked about that. So the 5 people from our community that I did reach out to and talk to you, just know that Titan's got the list. He's adding it in phase 3, which I believe, Lady Boss Nat, you could probably give me a thumb up or a thumb down, is happening in the next couple days before Saturday, correct?
And it'll take her a couple of minutes for us to get a response here from her, just because we got that delay.
Oh yeah, okay, yep. So
it is. There it is.
So those will get added. But yeah, dude, I'm definitely pumped up for the alpha, and he's made it. And that was one of the things that we had talked about in some other show recently. Was with a lot of these coins and how they came up and how you saw them all just like shoot up to the top and then just drop immediately down. He has put into play a couple protocols to really to keep that incentive to make sure that doesn't happen, to protect investors. And so I really like that. And yeah, he's got everybody turbocharged, super excited about what's going on, because that should be like really cool. And I love the whole alpha shards idea that's happening as well. So definitely a part of that. And I hope if you guys didn't get in on the pre-sale, that is something you participate, because Titan's the man.
Yeah, man, very excited for sure. And then Bullish tweeted out some stuff last night about Bull. He's doing a lot of stuff too to kind of bring in liquidity from a lot of areas. So I do know he's going to have multi-chain contracts. Sounds so far like, obviously ETH, but there should be a BNB contract. And then I commented on it, and he said he's actually looking to be on multiple chains, like 4 or 5. So that's exciting too. I'm excited for June, man. And I think we're going to get a summer pump, and I think there's going to be a big ordinal pump. So I'm looking forward to the next couple months here in summer leading into fall, see what happens with everything.
It's got me thinking, Turbo, should we do like a Web3 breakfast ordinal, and we somehow get it like into the hands of just our community? I think we could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and too, especially as much as we talk shit about ordinals, you know what I'm saying? There'd be no better way than to be able to come back than to to do one. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Maybe we can't.
We'll see. We'll see. But most definitely. And I gotta say, what's up to Mr. Bars, man? My homie coming from Columbus, Georgia. What up, Mr. Bars? How you living? How you feeling, family? What's the word?
Yo, GM, what's up, everybody? J Chains, my brother Turbo, my guy 7, we in the building. I agree with everything y'all talking about. NFTs are kind of dying down, but not all the way around. There's a lot of people working on the back end, and I think people define, successful NFTs by like high floor prices, but that's definitely not the case. Because there's a lot of dope ass projects that have like the lowest floor price ever, but they're making big ass moves in the background,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, shout out Titan, shout out Bullish, shout out Cyrus, Supreme Cons, and all them guys. They're definitely making moves and creating a ecosystem. That's for the better. That's gonna help the people.
Love it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Here's the thing I like about the Supreme Kongs is they have a tribe. They definitely have a tribe. Mr. Darius, Rainey, and them over there. Their community is very loud, and I don't mean that in any kind of bad way. They're out there doing their thing, and I think that it really that's a community that you can look to, that you can find a place in. You know what I'm saying? I think that they have a pretty good open door policy, and if it's a place, I go over and kick it with the Kongs all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's always a lot of love and always a great time, man. So if you guys aren't following them, definitely get over there and check it out. Get into other spaces. We have to start growing and finding, our people and continuing to unite and to push, man. So continue to be out here doing your thing. That's what it's all about. And actually, we are right on time for our fitness break. It is time to work out. I put on some workout gear today. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get some workout gear on.
So you got
that, you know what I'm saying?
I got aggressive sleeveless, man. That's how you do it, man. But I'm disappointed.
It's my signature right here.
I'm disappointed, man. We talked about this before. Like, we were the type of guys that we cut the sleeves off, but we cut them off so aggressively that the nips showed. I don't see your nips, man. What's up?
I know. I put this one. I picked this one on purpose.
Censored for TV.
Just because.
I got you.
Yeah, I mean, look. I feel like I got to get a little bit more clout before I can start letting the nipples fly. You know what I'm saying? Right. I get up there. I get to your status. I can have these nipples out. People are like, oh, that's just nipples. That ain't no big deal.
All right, that's respect, man. I got
so
you.
what you doing? What you doing for the workout?
I'm starting with curls, man. I got to get these biceps nice and toned up.
All right, fantastic. And Al, if you have that track loaded up, ready to rock and roll, we're going to be jumping into this workout, guys. This is your opportunity to get up. I'm going to be doing squats. I've made myself a little bit more room because, as Mac had pointed out publicly on a recorded space, that I have very small chicken legs. So it's fine, Hey,
I don't have tracks loaded up. I literally have an acoustic guitar and an amp, and I'm just going to sing them like I did. So if that's cool.
Shit.
Oh yeah, that's how that works, man.
I mean,
live. Hey, this is
live performance.
It's a live performance.
Yeah, this live. This is actually the first time anybody but Chantel has actually heard this track. So I hope you like it. And this is about like a year's worth of work. So here you go, guys. Let me know if this is a little too overpowered. Too much, or is it good?
That works.
Maybe down just a smidgen, not too much.
Cool. All right.
Perfect.
If I go before my time, just know you already know. And if I go before you, my friend, just know you already know. This world is getting brighter. This heart is getting lighter. This grip is getting stronger. No tears, not any longer. If I go before my time, just know you already know. If I go before you, my friend, you already know. Winds of change flap the butterfly's wings. When the bell tolls, I pray it's for me. Winds of change flap the butterfly's wings. Float like a feather and just let the world be. And if I go before my time, just know you already know. And if I go before you, my friend, just know you already know.
Hey, all right, man. That was awesome.
Yo.
Are you related to Neil Young, man?
I'm not, sir. I'm just a Texan
awesome.
sitting in a barn. But I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Hell yeah.
And it's all Chantel. Like, imagine a much prettier version and falsetto version of me in Chantel's form, singing it way better than I can, and she's gonna kill it with a symphony. And in Texas, we're bringing her from Barbados to Texas. We're gonna record the album. We'll have an NFT collection. It's gonna be beautiful, and that's some of the music for us. So, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for playing it. Whew.
Yeah, man. Most definitely. Hey, that had a good rhythm, you know what I'm saying? Like it kept me in the mind. I always listen to the words. Like that's always my thing when I'm working out. I'm like they're speaking to me. Just keep going. Just keep going. One more.
100%, bro. Do you have time for one more? Is that possible? I'd love to share just one more from her album, and then I'm good. I'll shut the fuck up and I'll just listen.
Let's actually just keep the show rolling, if that's all right.
No, for sure. Keep it going.
I appreciate you, man. If you are here at the next workout break, man, we're totally down. But
yeah, let me get some burpees and y'all keep talking. Do what you got to do.
There you go. Yeah, you got to get your workout in. You played during ours, so yeah, you get your workout in.
Yo, and speaking of working out, I see we got Dougie Hype in the building. D-Hype down there, man. I got to sit into his YouTube. Yo, Jay, this dude was fired up yesterday. He was like giving him hell on the YouTube. He was like, "What? We only got 3 likes and refollows on this." Like, nope, I'm changing the rules. If we don't get 10, I'm not giving away nothing. He was all types of fired up last night, man. I said, this is spicy YouTube. I was just sitting there just enjoying myself. And I went immediately and tweeted because I did not want to get called out because I was live.
Bro, you caught me at my moment where, like, when you fall in love with a project in the community and they're so amazing and wonderful, but they don't know how to do just one thing that's like super easy. Like in the Web3 gaming, people come there because they're gamers and they love it. And like Dragon's Crossing, was released last week and people just fucking love it. They're like, wow, an actual fun game to play. And it's like NFTs and stuff, right? And but none of them really know how to use Twitter or use it or how to show up in Twitter spaces because they're not really like what we're doing here in like Web3 Twitter. It's like kind of, everyone's kind of like in their own silo sometimes, right? And we don't even know that the other people are there in their own silo. And I was like, I am going to break you down. I'm going to brainwash you and retrain your brain to understand life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, bro, do you want this project to succeed? Because if you do, you should probably tweet once in a while. Or if I say, hey, comment on my tweet, like actually do it, not just sit there and stare at me, right? Because their brains aren't used to it. You know what I mean? They're sitting there, and if you say like, hey, please retweet the room or throw a comment down there, and usually, and people here and like guys like yourself will be like, oh, cool. And you'll think of something cool to say. You'll be like, engaging and fun and invite your friends or be like, this is cool. Gamers will be like, I don't understand how to communicate with other humans, right? So, and I'm saying that out of love and everything because everybody has like the way that they are, right? Everyone's a little bit different and stuff, and their own personalities are different. But I was like, I turned to the camera and look, and I'm like, look, I'm gonna bust you so hard, like until you actually understand how to like do Twitter, right? Because like it's like you kind of like have to do that sometimes you're in a room and you're like, bro, if we don't have like at least a decent amount of retweets, like I'm not doing no giveaway, bro. That's just like a normal thing. So I was like, you guys have only seen the nice side of D-Hype, right? Like you have not seen
as he's yelling at everybody.
I was like, I will turn you over on my knee and I will spank you. Like I will freaking bust down and make you do 20 push-ups right now. All right. Like you're and they all think it's like funny. And this is a thing, Jay Chains and Turbo and guys and 7 is like people think that like people in the gaming world treat everything like a silly like joke, like it's not real. It's like they're disconnected from reality. And I'm like, no, I'm for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not messing around here. So anyways, the thing is we need to actually feel connected to people, right? And that the things that we do and the way that we treat people matter, the things that we do matter, right? And in video game land, nothing they do matters. Like you play Madden or you throw on like your Xbox and you play online and against somebody and they just start like throwing toxic stuff at you and you're like, bro, relax. Like I'm just eating my breakfast, dude. Like chill. And so we need more love and compassion, guys, and connection in the world. And also 3XP gaming convention
Oh.
is this weekend.
That's right.
I don't know if
Santa
anybody's
Monica, right?
going to that.
Or
It's in I
Pasadena.
think Pasadena and
Yeah.
Santa Monica, right? Like, yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
I think
that's
it's at the
a big one.
Pasadena Convention Center, and then Santa Monica. There's also stuff happening.
Yeah. I know a lot of people will be out there. A lot of the YouTuber crew that I know, in the back channels, you got a lot of folks, especially all the Cali based ones, like the altcoin daily guys, Wendy O, Stash, and then a bunch of people are coming in. But yeah, no, it should be a good event. Definitely not going to be there. I'm going to be hanging out here in beautiful Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah. So
that'd be so.
Let me ask you a question, because I want to ask you, because you're living in this Web3 world and stuff, and what we're talking about today is kind of like embracing the volatility that is crypto, but how it enables us to do our best work. We talk about sometimes you do your best work when you got your back up against the wall, but how do you use the volatility in crypto to do your best work to engage communities as well as you do?
God, that's a good question. To be honest with you, Jay Chains, when I started like a year and a half ago or whatever, doing all this stuff and hosting spaces and trying to figure stuff out, it was really hard to navigate and figure out what to do. Cause like when you first come into crypto, people don't really know you. And I'm like, how do I get to be well known and do things that are really cool and utilize people knowing you or following you for really cool stuff. It's kind of like the chicken before the egg type thing. It's hard. And then quickly I figured out I just got to connect with people, DM people a lot, really and go to conventions and make friends with people and just be who I am and be like a bullet train, just go and do whatever I want to do. And then the people that will show up that want to be part of what you're doing, don't go chasing after things or people. You know what I mean? Just be you and kick the door down and kick ass, right? That's literally what you got to do. And Jay Chains, you're one of the people that I saw right away that I was like, oh, you're just you and you're cool. And that's attractive and awesome. Whereas a lot of everybody else seems like they'll be running around trying to chase down people and figure out how to do things. It's like they're not sitting in their value and stuff, right? And then I started to become more well known and do all the things I wanted to do and do projects and stuff, and it was going great. And then over the last 5 months or so, it's become or I should say over time, it's become so more volatile because there's so many more projects, and the market makes everyone become so much more disconnected because they're it's more difficult to have a project because it's the liquidity spread out more over people and there's less of it or whatever, and the attention and everything. So things became really, really jacked up. And then the Nakamigo thing happened. I have my Nakamigo pink coat on right now, my pink fur coat. And I was like, oh, this is good because it's just about hanging out and vibing and having a good time. And there's no any toxicity or nothing about it. But then the meme coin thing just went crazy and took over everything. And this is the thing, there's nothing more volatile than altcoins. There just is nothing in the world. Nothing exists in the world more volatile or bizarre or or confusing or frustrating than that, because there's nothing there. There's no project, there's nothing to rally around, there's nothing. It's just
vaporware for the most part.
Blockchain, right?
For the most part,
right.
And a lot of them are vaporware. Now there are companies that are actually building things in the background, and we do know that there are some legitimately trying to make a wave in this space. I unequivocally will tell you that's what BAM's purpose is to become a media entertainment company, and so that what started out as a meme coin now has a purpose. So there are some that kind of make that pivot.
That's what Zima does, yo. That's what Zima does. Okay.
What's Zima do?
I was gonna fall asleep right now, but I had to say hello. What's up, brothers?
GM,
Zima's here, of course.
GM.
Of course, Zima's here, right in the middle of my speech. Zima.
That's right. Well, I'm here as I practice my air guitar and my new fur blanket, so I'm gonna go rock.
Man, you changed your PFP again. I didn't recognize you.
I know.
And you changed yours back, and I love you for that. Just so you know.
I did it for you because you complained about it.
I know. I felt that. I felt the love back. All right. Hugs and kisses. Good morning, everyone. Good night.
Good morning and good night.
Good morning, good night.
Man.
Oh, Zima's going
good night, Zima. Night
guys love
Zima.
Zima.
Right
so
as
much
right
here.
as Patrick and Nikki come up. Jeez Louise, Zima.
No. It's Zima and Patrick Zima and Patrick are the same person. I figured it out, bro. I finally figured it out, and I'm glad that Patrick came up because like I was talking to Seven the other night, and I got this like message and it popped up, and it was a DM, and it was like, "Yo, Patrick is in a space and he's speaking." I was like, "Yo, we got to jump in here. Like, we got to go chat with Patrick." And so I jump into this space, and it was like the opposite of Patrick, actually. I'll leave it there. You know what I'm saying?
What?
And yeah, like I go in and it was not this Patrick. It was a different Patrick who, if you could think of everything about Patrick, just think of the opposite. And I show up and I get on stage, and I didn't realize until I got there because he had a picture of himself, and I was like, I don't think this is that Patrick, but like I'll see. So I sat in there. So I get on stage, and then the guy opens the mic, and I instantly know, I'm like, oh my. So I stuck around, made some new friends. I had a very interesting conversation, and here we are. So I'm so glad that Patrick did come up, and that Patrick and Zima are the same person. So how that connects, completely up to you.
Yo, Patrick's right there. What's up, Patrick? Yo.
What's going on?
Yeah, there we
We're,
go.
we're not the same
Yeah,
person.
they sound exactly the same. Jeez,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
exactly the same.
Exactly.
I am Patrick.
We're not the same person. That sounds like Fight Club.
Okay, you both need to talk at the same time. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm not. You gonna talk? I'm not Zima, but we are similar.
I told you, Turbo. I told you. I said, look, them two right there, them two some bitches the same people. I know they is. I know it. I want to talk to her. I said, no, okay.
Man, sorry about that. Listen, man, my Aunt Shirley, I brought her to Nashville with me. I didn't know she was coming. She actually, she was in the back seat. So
really quick.
Sorry about that.
Really quick, Turbo. Just for full transparency, anybody watching on the live stream, definitely saw Aunt Shirley come and grab them.
Are you guys
talking about I do the whole thing, bro. Like I can't. I'm not just gonna come out here half step it. Yeah, bro. You got the whole thing. Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna lie. When I grabbed the microphone and I saw myself holding the microphone, like I was like fighting with myself, and I realized that we're like live. I was like, shit. I was like,
you need to grab Shirley's wig for sure.
I just try to like move my hand back slowly and just
hey guys, before I knock out, are you guys talking about entrepreneurship? I'm reading the top here. Is that the topic today?
So kind of what we were talking about was using like crypto's volatility to be your best self. Usually you talk about like when your backup is against the wall, usually some people perform much better. But how do people use like this if crypto and Web3 is your chosen career and path, and this is the ecosystem that you live and work in? How do you use that volatility to make yourself a better person or better better worker or better whatever?
First of all, volatility is your fucking friend. Okay,
that's where the money is.
All right, volatility means change. Change means opportunity. When somebody's going, somebody's coming. All right. So, but at the same time, I've been through so many seasons. I tell you, .com rise and bust, real estate rise and bust.
Then I just have one quick question. Did you swallow a fortune cookie this morning or something?
Well,
okay, maybe we are the same person because I was gonna say the same thing.
What does that mean? Why fortune cookie?
I knew it.
All right. But
don't get all hostile. Relax.
I'm gonna say this, okay? Because I'm about to knock out. I was just talking about entrepreneurship with somebody last night, and I actually I typed it because their phone got cut off. But I was telling them something that I would say at a speech that I gave at a business school. I want to read it here. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay, let me see.
No, thank you.
Let me just scroll up.
You have to do it in Patrick's voice.
Okay, fine, I'll do
it. That's not his first time.
Him. That would be the best. Nobody, I will say, nobody in this room is as confused as me, is more confused as me about who's speaking when these two are speaking on the phone together.
Wait, really? You guys you think that they sound the same?
It's not about the sounds. It's what we
No, it's about what they say and the cadence and how they say it. It's very confusing, but it's also fascinating.
Got
it. I can picture exactly what you're talking about, Nikki. Exactly.
I found it. Okay, ready? I'm going to read this. Entrepreneurship is the opportunity to express yourself fully to the world. You will fail because of your efforts. You will succeed because of your efforts. You will learn that you cannot compare yourself to what's already out there, that everyone has a uniqueness, that if they are brave enough to deliver it straight to the world, they will call out the market that will see their absolute beautiful uniqueness. It is the scariest journey, the most exciting, the most challenging, the most humbling, and most importantly, it is a chance to share with the world what this one life of yours has. You can do it for the money, but the big guys we all hear about, they keep doing it because they found themselves. That's it.
Gosh darn it, Zima. Motherfucker.
I think I said when we did our last Tuesday, when we were talking about ethereal, I said to everybody, Zima's like, he's not only brilliant, but he's also like a really good life coach.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. We have. Hey, good night, Zima. Good night, Zima. And listen, if you guys haven't done so yet, make sure you get that Jolly Rancher in the Zima. You know what I'm saying? It's just for my guy, just for good old time's sake. And Zima, I know you were saying that you were talking to somebody about entrepreneurship last night. And I know that wasn't me at the 10 p.m. Working at Web3 show that you didn't come to. So I know it wasn't me. But that's fine. You know what I mean? Completely understand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe next time.
Was that a Nav quote?
I'll definitely make it.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's
That's Zima's way of saying, if I have time, I'll make it.
Well,
First of all,
he doesn't have time.
I'll take time, because if you don't take time, how can you have time?
Yes.
You guys
Very
are
true. You
enabling
make time for the
Zima.
things that are important to you.
Oh my
100%.
He's like Zima's like an oracle. I think, but it could just be the lack of sleep. You know, you're reaching into another dimension because you're high on no sleep.
Bro, by the 36th hour, I'm fucking floating.
Yeah, I figure, man. I've done that before in a box truck driving across the country. When I started floating, I literally started seeing like elephants and stuff. I said, I need to get off the road immediately. Like, this is not healthy.
No, it's when you see the black dog. When you see the black dog, that's when you know you have to go to sleep if you see the black dog. We actually train that in the military. You know what I'm saying? Like when you are completely sleep deprived, like people have said that they see a black dog before terrible things happen. And I've been in many situations where I've seen the black dog.
They really say this? They have like a whole like myth around that whole no sleep thing and seeing animals?
It's a black dog.
So here's the thing, right? I have a theory on this, only because I do it so much, okay? My theory is that when we're like, like when you look in the hospitals, when people are close to death, you know, they're more connected to like being really, they're going to see other spirits because they're about to die. And I think that when you push yourself so hard after a certain amount of days, I'm actually close to death. That's why I'm seeing shit.
I see shit. I actually see spirits whenever you're near Zima. Whenever you're talking, I see actually visions. It's an ayahuasca trip.
Yeah, you know, and it's actually really crazy on that because I heard another one. I have not verified this, but I forget who was telling me. So either this is true or I'm making it up. But someone told me that if you stare at yourself in the mirror for like 5 minutes, that your brain will become bored and then like try to scare you. Like your face will change into something scary. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I smoke a lot of joints with different people.
There's something to that, guys. There's something to that. Just so you know, that every basis of modern and ancient magic, the roots all the way back to Solomonic magic, is always based on the mirror and the looking of the eyes.
I thought you were going to say that was based on you and you're actually like a ever living being.
I can see Zima being like an ever living being for sure.
He is.
Yeah,
I don't doubt
it's
it.
the only way that makes sense, Zima. You have too much in there.
No, Dougie. There is actually one other thing that makes sense about Zima, is that he is the CIA or the feds, because like even Jay and I were having this conversation. Like, hey man, do you know Zima? No, bro, I don't know where he came from. Him and Max just came out of nowhere. I think they're like a duo. You know what I'm saying? That just came from nowhere. and just knew everything about us, was just connecting, just dropped right in, to just being a part of the family.
It
So if they do start
captured the mind and the hearts of the Web3 breakfast, man. I don't know how that happened. You guys came right in.
I'm taking credit. I'm taking credit for these two. 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, how are you taking credit for me?
Because it's just I just did.
All right, cool. Whatever, fine. That's not Carrie's fault.
Just because.
You two,
Okay,
I've been here since the
Carrie, you're taking
meta money
credit for
days.
me. You're taking blame for me too. By the way,
Yeah, I'll take blame for you. Of course I will. I'll take all your blame.
So in future, if anything goes wrong, it's Carrie's fault.
It's
You heard it
exactly
here first.
And you know
you
what?
think shit hasn't gone wrong already?
Carrie's in Web3 breakfast community in this club, I'm telling you, Carrie is OG because he was like previous life of mine. Carrie's OG. He's a made man. He's untouchable in this community. Just so you guys know. So he's gonna have one of those rings that everybody has to kiss.
That's all I needed to hear.
You already know, Carrie. All right, so now, Jay, now
Carrie was my first buddy, okay, and he was my
He rugged.
No.
He rugged. What was he?
Yep.
We're
never
gonna know. I promise he's real.
Y'all,
And now we
hilarious.
know
I
it's
gotta
just
go get
Zima's.
work done, but I appreciate y'all. Y'all a great group.
Yo, Cloud Founder, man,
Cloud,
come back
we appreciate
anytime.
you, man. Come back.
Yeah. This is Web3 breakfast, man. Monday through
We'll just
Friday,
say
we
the
do it
same
10
thing.
Yep. Yeah. We just talk over each other. I love it.
Yeah, when everybody else gets that juice going, and everybody just starts talking over each other, we can't help ourselves. You know what I mean? We're like, I guess it's how we talk now. We just talk over each other now. So
We do,
hey,
but
Patrick,
we hear everything still.
True.
Yeah, but you guys hear everything, but the other people on the other side don't. It sounds like chaos, just like going on, like I don't know. But Patrick, you did have your hand up, family. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Thanks. Glad to be here. I just enjoy listening to you guys, actually, even when it's chaos, or actually more when it's chaos. But anyway, I was going to probably say something I shouldn't. I don't know. What we're building out is much more profitable than what we could actually put into our project. So I want to give you a little bit more info of what you're going to get with it. We're going to be we're partnering with several different groups that I can't announce, right? I got to keep it kind of private at this point, but we're grouping with several groups that I can't announce, 4 or 5. One of them did go public with it, which is Nathan Hill. He's from he owns Crypto Magazine.
Crypto Magazine.
Yep, and quite a few others. We actually just added him to our website, and we were in one of his the 7th edition, if you want to read it. But we are going to be funding a lot of projects, and then we're going to partner with them, and we have a pretty large ecosystem that we're building out. I can't tell you much more than that, but we have a company, but our company is nonprofit. So basically, the owners of our percentage of what we fund is going to also be the holders of our token, and it's going to be quite a few. And we were thinking of housing it under an NFT marketplace. That was just an idea, and I heard one of the previous users talk about building one out. But again, we have a lot of funding that we can do because it's more than I can pump into our token. Otherwise, we will face too many attacks, and our community is small for a reason, right? So also, we have first edition NFTs that we're going to offer to specifically this room, only to this room, if you buy into our token. And what they do is they just enhance the payout of your nodes, right? So everybody who buys will get one of those for free. And then we'll have several sets of those NFTs, which just, again, they enhance the payout of the nodes. And like I said, we'll be funding quite a few projects. Can't tell you who they are or what they do, but we've already partnered with about
Hey, Patrick, the more you talk, you're more likely you're going to say something. So I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Thank you. Thank you,
That was
Zima.
All right.
Come on. Hey, Zima,
Yeah.
Zima, you're supposed to be asleep, so go back to sleep. Patrick, keep talking,
I'm
please.
asleep. This is Patrick talking. Chill.
That's Patrick. It's Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick too. Hey, you know, guys, like, man, I am so freaking fired up for this, and I do want to chat a little bit with you because I had some questions, Patrick, just as far as like, you know, I made the purchase. If you can kind of walk through a couple of things, but before we get into that, and I know everybody's like super fired up, I need to take a little bit of this edge off, just from my sheer excitement, because as I keep telling people, when they, you know, like with anything, right? People ask me, they're like, man, like, is this thing real? And I'm like, look, what I know 100% for sure is that it is definitely possible. Like, it is 100% possible. I believe in it. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, like, you got to make your decisions. But right now we have our workout. It is time to get to it. Yes? Zima, only because you're going to sleep. I'm going to give you 2 seconds. Jay put his dumbbells down. I seen it. So go ahead, Zima.
All right, fine. First of all, I just wanted to say, I don't know if you guys know Crypto Magazine, but I want to give them some props right now for everybody here to understand them, okay? These guys are the only print magazine. There were 3 attempts of other companies trying to do a print magazine in crypto. Bitcoin Magazine has around 15,000 subscribers, and they charge a shitload of money. This guy came from the offices of Rupert Murdoch, right? That literally OG 90 other magazines in their circulation worldwide. He took the Crypto Magazine, which people told him doesn't make any sense because we're all digital, and yet somehow in a year and a half blew it up to 250,000 subscribers and 19 country distribution. And literally that's just starting, guys. And at the same time, you're talking about 565,000 weekly viewers just on that site, and nobody's even really heard of it because why? It's blowing up fast and it's brand new. So when you talk about volatility in the market, I will tell you right now, the best things about this stuff is that when weak players get knocked out and new things get in, the thing that will always be needed is the expansion of marketing like you guys are doing, media in new forms. And when you guys talk about bridging Web 2 to Web 3, he has Rolex as advertisers for crypto stuff, guys. He is the bridge. So I would like you guys should really learn about that kind of player because that's the kind of player that actually really does connect and creates new opportunities where there's a lot of money flowing back and forth. Anyway, I am the CIA. Peace out.
Yes, I knew it. I freaking knew it. I knew it. And it is time, guys, to get that workout in. You know, we're definitely going to come back in and check in with everybody. Zima, get some sleep. That's going to be Zima's workout. We got Mr. Bars in the building. That's one of my homies, man. He's an incredible musician. I have one of his tracks loaded up. We're going to be working out to that. This is Prepared. Let's get to it. Jay, what you got going on? What you going? I'm doing snatches.
I'm going to do squats.
Let's go.
Hey, living life without care. Blowing weed, smoke up in the air. Come and try me, you wouldn't dare. I got heat for anybody, I'm always prepared. Came a long way from selling nickels out the stairs. Now I'm top floor, you can't even take the stairs. Haters always watching and I know this shit is weird. They always be talking, they ain't real as they appear. Oh, I appear. Always got the heat on me, but there's no fire drip. Gotta stay up, no ambient, ain't on no pill. I swear I live a life, y'all just don't know how it feels. Been experiencing prayers. Gotta protect my neck, protect my wrist, and give me chills. I'ma pull up the Luna Zoo, let Jesus grab the wheel. They be trying to fight, but they ain't really got the will. I'll leave y'all my legacy, put that shit in my will. Hey, living life without care. Blowing weed, smoke up in the air. Come and try me, you wouldn't dare. I got heat for anybody, I'm always prepared. Came a long way from selling nickels out the stairs. Now I'm top floor, you can't even take the stairs. Haters always watching and I know this shit is weird.
Let's go.
They always be talking,
Come on, we got a
they
minute
real
left.
as they appear. I agree, you could try your luck, but just don't try the shit with me. If you want a feature, I ain't doing shit for free. If you want to fuck with bars, then you gotta pay a fee. I swear my shit isn't cheap. The pen elegant, gold on it, can't measure it. Serenading it, the flow pleasuring. Holy God flow. Heaven sent, I'm in my element, but go Diablo. When y'all go, I lean no evidence is evident. Been better than me, y'all irrelevant. Fresh out the womb, bars is what I inherited.
Come on, 30 seconds,
Let 'em
30
in.
seconds, let's go.
Nah, I'm just kicking the door
One
down,
more.
and they don't see the picture till they up in the foreground, 4 pound. Click pound, tearing the ball down, but I'm trying to keep the peace. Man, I ain't a little boy now. I'm a grown man, got the hustle for my old man. BX be my
Last 15
homeland,
seconds,
so
guys,
I
come on.
think I won't land.
Here we go. We got 10 seconds remaining.
Living life without care. Blowing
5,
weed, smoke up in
one more,
the air.
3,
Come and
2,
try me.
and whoo. Attaboy, look at him getting the extra reps in. Yo, fantastic job, everybody. That a way to get it in. Welcome back
I'm
to
gassed.
Web3 Breakfast.
Oh, shit, dude, I'm gassed. Someone take it away. Patrick, talk to us.
Was that Travis Scott? Who was that?
Yo, that was actually my guy, Mr. Bars. He is not up here anymore. He was here. Oh, no, he's down to the listeners.
Okay, he sounds a little bit like Travis Scott. Anyway, yeah. What I pretty much said probably more than I should have already, but yeah. What would you like to know?
Oh, I was just messing because I can't even speak right now. Oh God.
Yeah, actually, that's good. That's what we need. So, like once we've made the purchase, what do we receive? Do we actually just receive tokens, or like what comes next?
So it depends on what you bought, because we sell loose tokens, but the nodes are the passive income. So every day, if you look at our white paper is out, we redid it, and we have some of this info on the website. We have our team up. You can see Nathan Hill decided to join the website and kind of announce his partnership with us. But you get, depending on the node size, you'll get the token, the native token, back every day forever, right? So as our bot makes money, we're going to put it into the ecosystem, and it raises the token, and we have it produces way more than what we can actually use, right? So that's why I wanted to kind of announce some of these partnerships. I can't tell you who they are, but every holder will then also receive that percentage of the company that we invest in, right? So not only can I make the token go up to the exact amount that I want it to, like for instance, the first day, if it goes from $25 to $2,000, right? We actually are asking you to cash out, not to hold on to it. And the reason is because if you cash out, then I can pump more into it, because we have the ability to make a certain amount per day, and we don't have enough people to do that without people noticing. And we don't really want the bigger companies seeing all of that go into our system and it coming out of their system, right? So we want to stay relatively under the radar, but we do want to give everybody a chance to be generationally wealthy, right? Who's in our system. And so yeah, you'll receive the native token, and then you would exchange it for whatever you want to exchange it for. If you want to cash out and put it in your bank, you would exchange it for like a stable token and then cash it out. But I can make it raise to the exact dollar figure I want to. So the first day it should go from $30 at launch time to $2,000, right? And then you would cash it out and do whatever you want.
Hypothetically speaking.
I mean, hypothetically, but that's the math. It's math.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is we were able to create this based on math, and we were able to test the formula, and it already works. It's not like a theory, but we've got to keep low key, otherwise we're red flagged, because it's based on arbitrage. So when it goes into our ecosystem, it's coming out of something, right? So we can only put a certain amount per day. So that's why I can pick and choose how much it goes up every day, right?
Math.
So
that's math right there.
Excess. It's excess. So the more projects we're trying to remove scammers from the space. We're trying to remove projects that are going to rug, right? So to do that, I think DeFi and decentralization is, if we work together, I think that is really the key. Instead of competing against each other, combined, work together, and with real people who have real good intentions, and we will fund those projects. And then together we can kind of weed out the scammers and we have plenty of plans, and we have them in place to execute. And exactly, we know exactly how to do that. And Nathan's a big part of that, right? So he's never had one token that was a scam token in any of his magazines. He's shooting 100%. He's shooting better than Steph Curry, right? So, I mean, I don't know how you do that, but that's what he's done.
Basically, what Patrick is saying, long story short, is that ethereal is it's the definition of an ethos. It's everywhere. It's for everyone. So for individuals getting in, we're also a project to help fund other projects. We're for people who are new to this space. I'm really excited that I think at least half of the people that have partnered with us in the past 24 hours have been women, and some of them are new to this to crypto. I know that the Tennessee Gangster's on here, and she decided to partner with us and get in on it as well. And she's been vetting different crypto tokens and projects for a while, and she decided to. And we're very honored that we're her first. So, it's really exciting what's happening, and we're really, it's our honor and our goal to prop up other projects that have integrity and want to do better for the space and for their communities.
I love that.
Yo, and Barbie, that.
Go, Trevor, go ahead.
Oh, I just saw your note.
Go for it.
So, no, that's it.
Okay.
So, because it just is now. We'll just leave it alone. Yeah.
I saw.
Okay. She got it. She saw my
Okay,
idea.
cool.
Idea
Okay,
Nikki
cool,
in
cool,
the
cool.
background.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I got it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because I was gonna find out, how we get involved in that, but no, we're just, man, this is. I can't explain to you guys how it truly makes me feel inside to be in this position, in this moment in time, right? We have this opportunity to truly change the world, right? And we're doing it, right? And for so long I thought for sure, that the good guys, that we weren't going to really be able to get a stake because there were so many bad players, and they had so many resources and they were, coming together. But just in these last couple of weeks, man, seeing the community, the tribe come together, right? And we're building community and we're supporting each other's businesses, and it's so freaking exciting because this is the greatest time to be alive. You know what I'm saying? This is it. So shouts out to all of y'all. We appreciate y'all being here. I haven't had a chance to do this yet, and I think it's a great time. You know what time it is. This is that Web3 Breakfast, bringing the best community around. Let's take a look through the room here. Oh my gosh. I see a hunk down here with some fancy blue eyes. He has 100,000 YouTube card guy turned full-time Web3. It's Chris D. He's down there kicking it with us. That's my homie. Oh my gosh, flying in from London. I see Juliana down there. Music, fashion, artificial intelligence. I know she always helps me out whenever I'm in a bad fashion jam. And she says, Turbo, take that white shirt off. You look ridiculous. And that's what we do here at the Web3 Breakfast. We make great community. We make great friends. And we share. So keep doing that.
Hey. I love when you do that. I love the energy. I love the vibe. I love everything that represents. And I love that we get to shout some folks out.
Thank you.
Got some amazing friends in the crowd today. Yeah. Shout out to you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Turbo, you rock at that. Let's see. We got someone that wants to come up. Bubble Foundation. We'll bring you on up here as a speaker. Come on up. Come through the time warp of time.
I have to say, I just got to say, as Bubbles is making his way up, two things. The first, neither one of them are related. I just looked down and I saw a Bored Ape. And bro, Bored Apes are 45 ETH.
Whew.
Like they just keep getting within striking distance. Not what I want to say though. What I wanted to say was how much I miss Chris D. I miss Chris D. Like he is like someone that I met in the Web3, and like I knew him my whole life, bro. Like it was not like I was meeting him for the first time. It was like, yo, this guy has been a part of my life my entire life. This is like a great friend of mine that I've had for years. I miss him. I miss you, Chris.
I know, man. He's crushing it, man. He is he is literally putting on a clinic for people how to create short form content. Now that you and I are back to streaming the shows, we can start to live up to that ethos again and make sure we're getting the micro content out, make sure we're getting the messages. I've been doing my best, and this is actually a great way. I'm glad you brought this up. Something I've always struggled with is being able to correctly timestamp moments that mean things to everybody. So like, I'm doing what I can here, but usually like if I'm involved in the conversation, like I'm just so involved in the conversation, I forget about everything else around me. And so, if you are a regular listener to Web3 Breakfast and something comes up that like absolutely it's like we got to have a moment of that, whether it's in a DM, whether it's on the thread that this space is on, down if you hit the purple pill, whatever, send us a timestamp of a moment that means something to you, and then I can go back in and clip that, and then we can start to get these messages out. Like when we talk about our quotes of the day, or I've got something that when Zima went on his speech at 10:49, or when Dougie answered the question that I asked him, so that we can now capture these moments, because most of the time no one's going to really go back. And actually, but to be honest, I actually get some pretty good replays after the fact on the show. But it's really hard to go back and listen to something for 2 hours to really kind of capture like the really good moments. But so if we could do a better job as a community notifying notifying me or Turbo, whatever, of like the moments that mean something to you, because then we can capture those and people can get those, because if it means something to you, it's going to mean something to somebody else, and we'd love to get that information out to as many people as possible. So however you guys can do to help us, I would love that, because then we can do that dope short form stuff that Chris is talking about, because that's where the attention's at. So thank you. Quick PSA.
Yeah, no, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, man, straight up. I'm not gonna lie. My Twitter or my TikToks, you can find me on TikTok at Turbo Made It. Is Chris D. I went through the shredder tutorial, bro. It was like really quick. It was not very long, but like in that short amount of time, that's like one thing that he is like probably better than anybody that I know, is like being able to deliver tons and tons of information in a very short amount of time efficiently.
That's what it's about.
And some people, yeah,
Chris, you could probably, if you want to come up here and talk about this, we could, because this is also we're talking about the volatility of crypto, and how really we're talking about a lot of things today, but really the backbone of the conversation was using this volatility that is crypto, or this industry of Web3, in order for us to be able to do our best work. And as someone who creates content, right now, like, yeah, there's some things in the news cycle that are exciting because of the SEC, but I feel like this is all just fabricated recently. But, for the last several weeks, I mean, really, as far as news goes, there hasn't been really anything exciting. So, how do we use like some of these inopportune times to still keep going with what we're doing, so that we either don't get rusty, fall behind, get left behind, get forgotten about, all that stuff. So Chris D, if you want to come up and chat about, how we use, these rough patches, these slow patches in this market to still be productive and keep going with the mission, we'd love to hear from you. If you can't, I get it.
Well, I sent Chris. Yeah, well, I sent him an invite, and right now the kids are out of school out there in California and stuff, and Chris was, he had the hood up on his souped up race car that he keeps in his garage. He was turning the wrenches. He's listening in. And, the kids just want to kind of pass the ball around and skate a little bit. So he's just out there with the kids, man, doing the most as a family man.
Love it.
Incredible dad, incredible husband, man, incredible person. Make sure you give him a follow. Guys, that's what it's all about. That's what we're doing here. We actually have a workout coming up in 12 minutes. And Jay, I'm thinking we're going to do motivational this time. I'm saying it's hump day.
Okay.
I keep thinking it's Thursday. I'm saying? And it's just, it's a good time to check in. I think that's really kind of what the conversation's really kind of been around today, right? Like having our backs against the wall. Because what does it really even, like, what does that even really mean? In the long and the short of it, having our back against the wall, right? Like, is that something, like, I live there, right? And it's mainly because of my PTSD, right? Like, I'm constantly on guard. I actually had an opportunity to do this clinical trial with Ohio State University, where they were going to give me a shot, and it would block my flight, my fight or flight sensors. Yeah. And so I was like, man, I was like, okay, like this is, like, okay, like maybe. And right before I took the test, I was like, oh man, like, or took the shot, I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, what the hell is going to happen if I have no fight or no flight, like, sensors? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that even mean? I'm like, I'm not dealing with that, right? We have a lot of stuff going on right now. It is a hard time, because money's tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, the projects aren't out there the same. The whole ecosystem is going through another transition. We see, influencers, like what that means really changing. We see some of the people who were sitting at the top kind of losing credibility. We see this whole new forming inside of these spaces in these like more micro communities. I mean, I don't really go to any space that's like more than 50 people. And I think that's changing, right? Like, and so in all that, right? Like this is the time to drive. This is our time to work, right? Like we did let everybody know that anybody that wants to get involved with Web3 Breakfast, as far as like in the backside, like helping out. If maybe you do websites, or maybe you do like whatever you have that you do that you're special at. If you want to be a part of this team and help out, like we definitely invite you. And so Carrie C actually did. He reached out, was like, "Yo, what can I do? Like I'm in. Like I want to be a part of this thing." And so we now have Therapy Radio on Saturdays.
I love it.
So this thing is for everybody, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just excited to be doing that with him. And I think this is a back against the wall moment, right? Like even this Saturday at our show, Jay, I took the kids to the water park because I had my back against the wall, right? I need to be a dad. I need to be here, right? Like how can I bring these things together? You know what I'm saying? And so we went to the water park. And for an hour, my kids are going to wait in line on this damn water slide for 45 minutes. So in 2 rides, I can kick it with Carrie. I got my little earpiece in, you know what I'm saying? It didn't even cross my mind, Jay, going to a water park. Everybody's in bathing suits. Bro, I didn't think about that beforehand. And so that's an experience, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm like people watching people in bathing suits and doing a Twitter space and kind of watching my kids on the line. A lot of information coming in, but you know what? We did it, man. And I was a great father that day. I was a great friend and a great community member, for the Web3 Breakfast, showing up for Carrie. And it was great. You know what I'm saying? So we can make as much fun or make it as hard or as tough or whatever that we choose to make it.
Can I ask you a question? I don't know if this conversation, yes. I don't know if this conversation happened here or I think it might have been in real life on the cruise that I was on, but I can't quite remember. But you were talking about the clothing option that you wore to this water park, and what did you call it?
What?
A bathing suit.
What did I call it?
A bathing suit.
A bathing suit. Yes,
that's what is in my brain, and that's what I call it as well too, is a bathing suit. But do you actually bathe in that suit? Nope. You don't bathe in it.
Well,
you swim.
No, actually, hold up. No,
no,
that's not fair because look, when I was a kid, and even through my adulthood a little bit here, there's been plenty of times when I had not showered, and I knew if I took a dunk in the pool, all was forgiven. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But that's beside the point.
You've been out.
That's beside the point. That's beside the point.
It's a bathing suit.
Nope.
Technically, chlorine does clean your body as well. So
I know. I know, but you don't go in there and bathe. I mean, I've done the Dr. Bronner's in the river where you lather yourself up. I get it, but technically you don't it's a swimsuit, right? It's a swimsuit. And so I was laughed at for calling it a bathing suit. Listen, I'm on your side, Turbo. I call it a bathing suit too, but it was brought to my attention at 41 that I should be calling a swimsuit, not a bathing suit, or a swimmer, or a swimmy.
You're absolutely correct. You guys are you're absolutely correct, Jay. As a professional swimmer, it is a swimsuit. Whether you want to call it a Speedo or not, that's up to you. That's a brand name thing. That's like calling the tissues a Kleenex. But as far as bathing is concerned, nobody bathes in the goddamn gosh darn bathing suit. I mean a swimsuit. Nobody does it. You don't sit in the bathtub with a suit on your jump.
So then what's a bathing suit?
There is no such thing.
There's no such
So then I
thing.
need to know what a bathing suit is.
Maybe
It's,
back
it's
in
a
the
created invention.
back in like the 1300s, it was like the little knickers that they would wear into the little bath, and then someone would pour the hot water. I mean, this is back when people needed to be bathed, so you would put on your bathing suit so that no one would see your junk.
There's certain things in history that I question actually happened.
I bet
Like there's some things
Would
that I
you-
wonder about.
Okay, so here's
You
so
think
here's the
people? You
question.
think people were bathing other people?
100%. All right, let's go.
Dude, my mom,
Like the
Carrie.
in those bathhouses as well, there were like bathing suits that you would get when you went in, so people wouldn't be exposed and stuff.
Yeah, but now they're not called bathing. They're not bathing. We're not going to bathhouses. Like you could go to, like in New York City, you can go to the Turkish bathhouses, the Russian bathhouses. Yeah, like sure, that would be considered a bathing suit because there's like some.
Oh, I get it. I think I just put two and two together. Okay, bathing suits. Okay, I get it now. Okay, so people would bathe other people, right? So you would wear a bathing suit, so you wouldn't be naked.
Correct.
But only in HBO and Cinemax movies of that era are they completely naked.
Well, for the effect.
Okay.
For the effect.
Yeah, for the effect.
But
nobody was really. That makes sense. Yeah, you could bathe me, bro, if I had on like if I had clothes on, if I had a bathing suit on, and that was your job, I'd let you bathe me.
so you know that
It's your job.
It's your job. What about washing your privates? Is that like the job too, or are you like supposed to do that one yourself?
No. If you have a bathing suit on, if this is how the bathing suit thing came, because this would make sense, right? Because if someone came over and bathed me, I wouldn't mind being bathed if I was clothed, right? I would imagine that you would wash your genitals on your own.
But would they just like, Mr. Turbo, please? Mr. Turbo, please stand up.
At a minimum, it's like if you were mowing lawns and they were like, "Yo, we want you to weed eat too," then that's extra. That's an additional charge.
Carrie, please save us.
I can't save you, man. All I can do is make things worse. My mother is a nurse, right? Or well, I mean, she's retired now, but she was a nurse in the 60s and 70s and 80s. And there's not I mean they don't have suits. They don't wear suits. And my mother had to bathe many a man, and some of them had knotty dreads on their back and the down below dreads that you don't want to know about.
Yeah, they call those dingleberries.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, my poor mother. I mean, God bless her soul.
Oh God.
She she made some people clean, but I mean, her mind will never be the same.
Yeah, that's not
man, for sure. And shout out to all the nurses out there.
100%. Shouts
out to 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because bro, when I went into the Army, I literally signed up in 2000. I literally signed up in 2005, bro. Like I knew I was going to war, without a doubt. Like I knew I was going to combat, right? Same thing with these incredible human beings who signed up to be nurses, right? Like there's no way, bro. The first time someone like stood up and it was just like dingle dreads, no, I'm not getting paid nowhere near enough. I know they're not getting paid enough, but they're just like in the service of humanity. God bless them.
And I tell you
Jeez
what,
Louise.
That's off. I'm not a dingle man. No thanks.
No way.
I would just get the pressure washer. Be like, get over there.
Yeah. Well, we have definitely determined, because speaking of, funding and stuff like that from nonprofit organizations, because we've been talking about a couple of organizations, a nursing home, the DGen nursing home, for those of us who make it all the way to old age without going to jail. And then also a DGen prison was the other one, so that we could kind of like have it stocked up, ready to go. It's going to be great. You have to get the NFT. It's an NFT collection. You have to purchase it. But like it's Doritos, like everything's already stocked. Everything's taken care of. We already have our own guards that are paid for. It's going to cost absolutely zero to the state. You know what I'm saying? Everything's already paid for. So we'll go to like a really nice cush confinement facility.
Really quick, and something what you just said there, and I love this. We were in Beast FM with Machiavelli this morning, and we were talking about DGens and all this, and I love where he went with this. And so DGen is not a degenerate, right? Like I'm sure all of us have had a conversation with someone in our lives. Like, I was talking with my mom about this, and she goes, "Why do you call yourself a degenerate?" So, Mom, we don't call myself degenerate. Like, we're degens, and it's totally different. And so Mac like laid it out like really easily this morning. It's decentralized generation. We're the decentralized generation, so we're degens. Like, I freaking loved that. So when you guys hear degen, when we talk about degens, we're not degenerates, even though some of us might be. We're part of the decentralized generation.
When I actually researched that, when I came into the space before, because when I came into crypto, I didn't come into Twitter first. I was strictly YouTube. So I was just watching YouTube videos and learning about crypto. So I didn't know anything about like not doxing and all this stuff. So the first time I heard degen, everybody kept saying, I went and I researched it. What I found that it meant was degeneration. Like we're like this group of individuals who are breaking down like these generational like curses and the things that have been like these rules and systems that have been going that don't make any sense. And so that's what I always thought it meant. And then somebody was like, it means degenerates. And I was like, there's no way, bro. I'm like, why would we all go around calling each other degenerates? It's got to mean degeneration. And I just quit. I just always thought it meant degeneration.
Yeah. Well, decentralized generation. Here we go. This is who we are. Take us or leave us.
It talks. Take us or leave us, because that's what it's about.
It's not really a workout. What is it? So I got to lay on the ground and like focus on breathing today?
I'm thinking that is something that you most certainly could do.
Okay,
for
I'm
sure.
doing that then. I'm setting up the proof of meditation cam. Here we go.
I think like some sit-ups would probably be better.
I thought you said we were.
But this is your time. Yeah, because it's something you mindfully don't generally like, and so just knocking a couple.
Whatever it is that you desire with all your heart, understand once and for all that it can and should be yours. So right here, firmly establish in your mind that which you desire more than anything else. If you're willing to burn your bridges behind you and say once and for all, this is it, this is what I will do, and I will never retreat, I'll never go back, then you have the sort of desire that can only end in success.
So desperate to figure out how to convince people that there is no loss in going forward. Because being 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and having regrets that you didn't swing the bat is the worst of them all. Our at-bat is in front of us. Take a swing.
You're not stuck. You are not stuck. You can read a book, take a class, move on to the next thing. You are not a victim. This is your year, and if it's not going to be anybody's fault but yours. You get to decide. I'm not talking about a New Year's resolution. New Year's resolution is something to do with too much champagne. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about really deciding I'm going to move the needle in an area of my life that's been frustrating me. And some of these areas I've been winning in, I'm going to win even bigger.
It's not possible to.
Let's go. We got 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Come on.
Consistently or more dedicated than me, because I couldn't give a single ounce more to any aspect of this thing that I'm doing. So that makes me feel pretty powerful, pretty confident.
What do you think it is about you that will make you keep falling until you learn a trick? Keep committing to something.
It's because I know it's possible, and I'm willing to struggle through the learning process. And so I guess I never want to back down from a challenge, even one I just posed to myself.
Success is your duty. It is your obligation and your responsibility.
Nature wraps up in the impulse of strong desire that something which recognizes no such word as impossible and accepts no such reality as failure.
Fuck what intuition of other people is. Listen to mine. Establishment, the blueprint. Fuck all that. Just go listen to myself. Yourself always wins. I beg you, take a shot.
Here's one way you never better yourself. When you come up with excuses for why other people are successful, that shit is fucking dangerous. When you give yourself an escape, everybody has a hard road.
Are you gonna make a choice to just be a leader, or you gonna
do? What you gonna do? How you gonna be remembered? What's your choice? There's no limits, guys. Yo, that's what it's all about, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us for that Web3 breakfast workout. Be on the lookout for Beats 45 Fitness, guys. It is on its way. Like we've been talking about it, but I will tell you, we are having a little bit of a hiccup. Just being 100% honest, we're working through it. And so we want to make sure we deliver that thing 100% working. And so it's coming. It's coming. I'm so excited, but sometimes that's the way it is, So I'd rather just be upfront and honest and deliver something right.
I like it. So probably start doing signups next week. We thought we were going to get to it today. We were going to call today Workout Wednesday. But I think we'll start doing some signups next week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally getting, bro. It's just working. You know what I'm saying? It's something I designed a long time ago. It's something I know that works, and I'm excited, bro.
Hell yeah!
It's gonna be. We're gonna adopt some people into the Web3.
Dude, Coach
we're gonna
Turbo.
work them out into the Web3.
I'm excited for Coach Turbo, man.
Coach Turbo, man. That's
like we all like it, like
man,
I grew up an athlete, right? Like I grew up on a team sport. I never did individual sports. I was on a team sport. I think, as an athlete on a team sport, like you crave that team mentality. And so like that's why having a coach, having accountability buddies, like splitting up into groups, making sure that we're communicating with each other, being that team, right? Like this is what I think maybe some more people like me need.
Yeah, man. And that's the thing, bro. Like, like I look at you as a coach, you know what I'm saying, on this media side, right? Like in this, like creating this thing that we want to accomplish, right? Like, and so that's what makes it beautiful, right? Like if we step up into those leadership roles of the things that we know that we are, maybe the best that's willing to step forward to do those things. And then everyone's like, okay, like let's do that. And hey, I'm really good at this. Oh, that's where the sauce is at.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, you know what? I see Nessie down in the crowd, and this is an invitation to you, man, because one of the things we're talking about today is, when your back's up against the wall, how do you stand up and perform and rise up to the challenge? And I know that, with what you got going on in your life, you are living that ethos. And so if you do care to come up and share in the conversation today, definitely would love to hear that. If you are busy doing some other stuff, definitely understand that, respect your time, but just wanted to keep that open to you because I know you are definitely living that. So
I know this is completely off topic. Oh no, here comes Nessie. Yo, that's what's up. Let's go, baby. Coming through the time warp.
Twitter time warp.
Yo, GM family, GM.
Yo, GM dog, how are you?
Yo.
I'm good, man. You know how it go. You could always be better, could always be worse, but making the best out of it for sure.
I love
it's
that,
just the season. It's the season, man. Like that's it.
No, it's just like along with what you were saying there, Turbo. And has and like what we were talking about yesterday, like we played a bunch of your tracks, and regardless of what's going on in the market, you're not stopping. In fact, you're pushing harder than I've seen. Like you've got Open Minds coming out soon, so you have used this opportunity, this time in the market, this we call it volatility. You can call it a bear market, you can call it a bull market, or excuse me, a build market. However you want to classify it, but it's all about how you take that opportunity and make the most. Like you're networking, you're collaborating, you're building, you're doing your thing. And so like you literally are showing to the world, this is the time to do it, all while you got two twins at home. Like you got your back up against, and that was the thing, you got your back up against the wall and you're not stopping. And that's the most important thing that people need to understand. Like what's your motivation, like when you have your back up against the wall to not stop?
Honestly, like all I got is my twins. That's it. Like before they were here, I would do music. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to hit and be a certain thing, but I was slacking on in a sense. And staying, like it truly was not about more. I had to learn the bigger picture and every reason. So even when it does seem like the situation where I want it to be is exactly where I need it to be, so that way I can grow into the person that I need to be. You know what I'm saying? So when I have other situations come down later on the road, I already know how to handle them per se, because the universe or God or whoever tested me, you know what I'm saying, with certain things that led me up to it. Sometimes we don't receive the blessings that we want because we'll lose it. I'm saying we're not prepared to actually handle it. then we'll end up fumbling, and then we'll be like, ah, but you just got to self and just move accordingly. So I know, because I was 8 years old, I make music. I was part of the world. I was strength from my music and open up beyond music. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like no matter what, I gotta keep going because it's not about me. It's not about the twins. It's about the kids. For real. Like I'm really wealth. I'm really big on breaking national curse. You know, and like just to be blunt, all the males in my family damn near work at a factory or they do some other shit. You know what I'm saying? And first one in my family to actually be creative and to step outside and say, no, I'm my way. And then because it's happened, but gotta keep pressing on because everything comes back full circle. So yeah, anybody out there, you just your back's up against the wall, yo, you know what I'm saying? Right now I'm literally exact space. It's where I'm not necessarily wanted. I'm saying, but at the same time I'm needed by my twins. So sometimes you just gotta make that sacrifice for success later. So just keep pushing, keep that faith, and you're gonna win.
Mic drop.
Absolutely beautiful. I mean, that's the reality of it, right? Like, sometimes, I mean, I definitely feel that, bro. I feel like a whale in a pond, like when I'm back home, when I'm on the road and I'm out, with the people, man, that's like, there's nothing like it, but, we have our kids, you know what I'm saying? And, and so, one thing I always appreciated, Jay, like taking Emmy to the conventions and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, like there's nothing can be in our way except for excuses. That's it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, it's really important as someone who, spends a lot of time in this ecosystem, and you bring up, the opportunity that I get to bring my daughter to conferences and stuff. I mean, I want her to grow up in this industry, this ecosystem so bad, and that's, one of the things with what we want to develop and having a financial literacy center and a blockchain education center is that, like that is something that, my daughter will play a big role in because it needs to be a big role in her life. Like I was not taught financial literacy. I think most of us, if we're a little bit older, like that was never part of any of the curriculum. They taught you how to balance a checkbook. We talked about this the other day. You taught you how to balance a checkbook. And I think like that was it. And nobody uses a checkbook anymore. And so if we need to change like the curriculum a little bit more, and we were even talking about this when I was on the cruise, is how do we get into the school systems? How do we change the course of this educational tract where we can start to, give them financial offerings? And if they're not going to listen or they don't want to participate, that's why, like the thing that, Chain Labs, Turbo and I want to build, that's why things like that are important, because now we can start to put these in every community. And if the state's not going to do it, if the private sector is not going to do it, as far as on an educational level, we can do it as people in this ecosystem, as community members. And I know, American, you're with me, dog.
Yeah, man,
so you're part of everything that we'll be doing.
No, for sure. I was going to say, Jay, and that's the thing, right? Like, we do private education. You know what I'm saying? Like we create it, right? And we create a private education system that is open to the public. Because that's the thing, like what they're taught in the public education system is not what they're being taught in the private education system. And it's in the name, it's private, right? Like if you want your kids to have a private education system, well, it costs money to do that. Now, the issue is that it's just become too far out of reach, or they make it into a system to where it's like, so like you can go there and ask for like grants and things to be a part of it. But then like, every like board meeting and stuff, it's like, hey, these are all of our families over here, you know what I'm saying, that we got in our grant program, this is what we're doing, you know what I mean? And it just kind of, it's uncomfortable, right? So, I think it deters a lot of people from using those tools because, like of generational things. But we can create a private education system, which we will, right? And it begins in what we're doing right now in the show and building our tribe. And we'll take it to a private sector and we'll create it to where it can be publicly accessed by everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that. I teach my kids, I told them at a young age, and my daughter's 12, my son is 12, my daughter's 14. I've been telling them for years that what they teach you in school is nothing what you need in the real world. All they teach you is how to be someone's employee or indoctrinated into the system.
If you really want to be successful, you listen to your daddy, listen to these entrepreneurs, and listen to these people out here in the real world who are doing it and getting it done. You got to go to school. You got to get that education, and you're going to learn a lot about life and how to deal with people. But most of what they're teaching you is not what you need. So, might be controversial to tell your kids that, but
no,
it is what it is.
No, I feel you, man. Like, and I would love if we, re overhauled the educational system. I mean, like, from what I understand, it was developed for, the Industrial Revolution. It was kind of like if you were, on your way to being a factory worker kind of thing. Like, that's not what we do anymore. And same thing with like daylight savings time. Like, that was for farmers. Like, I know that there are farmers, but that's not what we all do anymore. Like, let's make some changes. Let's make some things a little bit, I guess, easier for us that live like a normal life.
The problem that I see is the same issue that we had in the military, right? Is that the people that get at the top, they get to make the rules, right? And it takes such a long time for them to get into that position that like they're upset. Like we had this 1-star major, and he was pissed about tattoos. Like he hated tattoos. He was like, nobody's allowed to come in with tattoos. If you got tattoos, like you're barred from different things. And I went back and took my ASVAB, and I have a 129 GT score, which like put me in the top 93% of the military, right? And they're like, yo, you can be anything. You can be a doctor, you can be a physical therapist, you can be whatever you want to do, right? And I'm like, well, I want to be a physical therapist. So when I submitted my packet, they declined it because I had tattoos. Even though I had a higher IQ than like, there was only 7% of the people that took that test that outscored me. My tattoos, took me from being a good leader, right? And the only reason that we ended up in that situation was because this sergeant major who was in power, this was something he hated at a young age and he held on to for a very long time. And our politicians and the people that are in the power, we put these old people in, right? Like, isn't the voting, like, can't you be a president like 35? Like, why aren't we getting younger people into politics, like into these positions?
Makes no sense. Why do we have to get these dinosaurs? This guy can't even fucking walk around on stage without collapsing. I know he tripped over a sandbag, but I mean, he was there for hours. You should have known it was there. Let's go to American and then Grateful. Let's get some hands.
Hey, I mean, Grateful had his hand first. If you want to go,
I read from left to right, so that was my bad.
Oh, no, you're good, man. No worries. Can you guys hear me?
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with everything being said. It's awesome. That's why this space is beautiful. I love showing up here. I do it when I can. I'm on site right now, but I got my AirPods and everything, so I try to make it work. But yeah, I mean, me and my wife have talked about that since we had kids. And I mean, they're younger. Like my son's 5 and our other son's about to be 3 in just a little bit over a week. But I think everybody here is going to be teaching their kids what they actually need to know. And that's part of why people here have been showing up for so many years. And it provides a great opportunity for average people to get ahead and actually set themselves ahead in life. I mean, it's very hard for average people to get involved in traditional markets. You have to have a lot more money. There's a lot more things that you have to be able to pass through to initially get involved, depending on the level of involvement that you want to have. And if you actually want to make enough money to put yourself ahead, you really have to be involved with people that can help you out and know what's going on and give you solid advice and point you the right way with things. Otherwise, it's going to take years. And I mean, obviously, that's not what the government wants. They want the educational system, in my opinion, is set up the way that it is for a reason. And especially with what's going on right now, it's absolutely insane what's going on. And you see a lot more people pulling their kids out of the schooling system and doing the homeschooling route. And we may go that route too. I don't know. I mean, our kids are in private school right now and it's working and they're young, but I guess, you never know. But yeah, I mean, look at what the government and the SEC is doing to try and scare everybody in the public out of getting involved in this space. And I think a big part of that is because it provides so much opportunity for people to, escape the matrix, if you will, or set themselves up for more success moving forward, to not be so dependent on employers. And, people making money like that, it gives them the opportunity to go out on their own and to become an employer versus an employee. and it's terrible, man, to see what the media and what the government really wants people to believe and to get sucked into. So it's a beautiful place to be here, man. I think everybody here is gonna make it. So yeah.
Hell yeah. We definitely we're definitely all gonna make it for sure, you know, and that's the thing, man. Like if you are you know, like this is just in, you know, from a psychology standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Like obviously I'm not a doctor, so I can't give any kind of like medical or psychological advice or whatever. But one thing that I will say is that you know, something to think about is that if you are taking your children out of the school system, ensure that there's some kind of other human interaction. Because if nothing else, if the educational system is like completely flawed and we don't ever use anything that we're taught or whatever, the intangible skills and the life lessons that are taught on the playground and having friends and having you know, conflict, you know, I'm not for like, you know, big time bullying and stuff, but you know, like when I was a kid, like if things went to it, you went to blows, you threw fists up, you know, fisticuffs on the playground. You had to stand on the wall for, you know, for that recess, and then the next day you got to go back to being friends. You know what I'm saying? And it really, you know, developed on how, you know, we would handle, you know, conflict and stuff, and at a young age, and it gave life lessons of being able to teach, you know, why we don't use our hands as we become older and mature. But they're taking that away, and so we see like you know, big swings in like just human interaction, the lack of communication skills and stuff. So if you do take your kids out of any kind of system, just get them around other kids in some form or fashion. And do that anyway. So
how do we get back to that? Like how, like you know, guys that grew up like us, and you know, ladies that grew up like us. That's that same thing. You know, like I will like for sure raise my daughter exactly how I was raised. Like, you have an imagination, you go outside, you defend yourself if there's any problems. You know, that's how you do it. That's how you live your life. Like, there's no participation trophies in my house. There will never be a participation trophy, and that's just the way that it is. And we just, how do we get back to more? You know, I don't even know if it tweeted it out. It might have been something that I just saved. And you know, I do a lot of tweeting where I'll go on like a rant, and then I just hold it back because it's probably, you know, not good for my brand or good for the world. But
yeah, or all of us.
Yeah, I bounce some of those ideas off Turbo sometimes. He's like, bro, little strong. Like, man, it's like 7 a.m. Calm down. But you know, I was gonna say something, and I have to tell you, I don't even know if I sent it out, but it was about, you know, like the snowflakes in the world, and like we got to get back to like how our grandpas and grandmas were. You know, like they were like, my grandpa was like was a fucking man, and like that's how I live my life because he was my role model. Now we got like some of these, I don't know, man. How do we get back to that? Because that's what our society needs. And I'm not talking like Andrew Tate shit. I just mean like, how do we just like, how's it okay to be a man? Like, how do we make that okay?
Well, I mean, you know, like honestly, bro, like, you know, with all of that, right? I think it really just kind of begins with like understanding that there are things that do need that we need to address that happened, right? And we need to move on. Right, like there's just things that happen, right? Like the whole like don't cry, right? And you know, not and the other F word, right? Like in these things that like we're literally trying to make it this change, right? Like we understand that, you know, it's not good to go on the playground and fist fight each other, but every now and again, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I thought we was gonna come to blows on the rooftop. It would have been okay, you know what I'm saying? We'd have tussled for a little bit, we'd have got up, hugged it out, and life would have went on. It would have been fine, right? Like, but I couldn't do that with a lot of, like, probably not any of my other friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that. That's the stuff that we got to get back to, is like this, like, we are animals, right? Like, we do have emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be allowed to cry when we're upset and we're sad. You know, shit. You know what I mean? Shit, I went to Jay's room. Shit, I was like, look, I was crying and shit. I'm like, look, I'm not crying because I'm sad. You know, I'm just crying because I can't control my emotions right now, and so I want to be able to have a conversation with you. But bro, that because we grew up the way we did, we can have that conversation because of the level of maturity we're at. It's a progression, right? And we're trying to like skip so many things with these kids, like because of how much access there is to information, right? Like that's what we need, the controls, right? And so if we can't build these controls, then we have to begin to educate them on them, right? Like my kids, like, yo, like they got little books and stuff. I'm like, look, it's the ideas and inventions that they want to create, and you know what I'm saying? And when my son's got one that's pretty close, you know what I'm saying? We start getting some money coming in, you know, like I want to get with the Seuss and help him to build his first card game. You know what I'm saying? And I want him to do it with his friends, right? Like I'm here in Tennessee, you know, like I'm like, shit, you know, like things a little tight, I need to work up some cash. Hey, I'm gonna kick on my construction thing. You know, my homie, you know what I'm saying? His son's like, bro, I want to learn this. Okay, look, I'm going to teach you. We're going to build the business because I don't want to do this. This is a right now thing. But what's going to drive me harder is knowing that I'm going to give you the keys.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the tools, and I can go and do something else, and I don't have to worry about losing this thing. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be on a large scale. You know what I'm saying? We need to get in our cars, and we need to go see each other. And if somebody's close to you, go to their house and spend a day with them. If you're not that comfortable yet, start in a well-secure place.
Go to a coffee
Shit
shop.
can go south, right?
Go to a coffee shop.
Go to a coffee shop,
Pretty
man.
soon the guy could be snorting
Meet these
meth off his
people.
computer and shooting crack in his ass or whatever this guy did that you were telling us about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now look. But here's my batting average. I've probably stayed with like at least 150 strangers in these last 2 years. But and when I say strangers, I mean I'm talking about just straight up people that I
Just
only met on the internet.
Web3 fam.
You know what I'm saying? Web3 fam. You know what I'm saying? And out of that, I only had one. I mean, it wasn't a bad experience.
It was a different.
It wasn't like
it was a different experience. It was an elevated experience. You got a little more than you bargained for.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? At the end of the day, it was his castle. It was his castle. He was the king. I loved him for it. I didn't get hurt. He didn't get. He could change. You know what? Look, we're just gonna move past that. All right. Look, out of all of those, we only had one bad experience, man. And so, you know, the likelihood of you guys meeting a serial killer where you're at is pretty low. So, go meet each other. Shit, give each other a hug, man. Come to a convention. Go to something. Damn.
Just get out there. You know, we talked about that. We talked about that last night. It's just put yourself out there. You know, like, and it's all about it. Literally, we need to just do this thing full circle. You know, you got your back up against the wall. Sometimes you got to get out of your comfort zone to get your back off of that wall, and that does include, you know, being here in this ecosystem. If you are afraid to speak up on stage, I promise you, this is the show to do it. Every single week, we have someone that comes up and says, "It's the first time I ever spoke on a Twitter space," and I love to hear that because literally, this is the community for it. We are a community for the community by the community. It doesn't matter where we go, the platform, whatever. We are community members first and foremost. And so I want you guys never to forget that. And so if you are sitting down in the crowd and you're like, man, I have something so cool to say, but I'm afraid to say it. Don't be. We are your tribe. We are your community. This is the safe place for you to come and give your ideas and we'll talk about it. And even if there are people with different opinions, like that's okay because we are all pretty mature in this community. And I love that. And that's why, you know, you talked about this earlier on the show, I think, Turbo, where you're like, you know, sometimes you go into some of the spaces and they're chaotic. Like I don't do that. Like I could never run a space that was chaotic because that's not what I want for me. And I would never want my community to have to experience that if that's not what they want. And, you know, the people that come here, they understand what to experience. And it's never going to be that chaos. It's never going to be that shill fest. It's just, I don't want that. Like, I don't want that for me and I don't want that for you. You can go to those things if you'd like, but you're not going to find it here.
Yeah. And two, you can go to both.
You could.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's times I want to degen. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I do, you know, go to all of them. You know what I mean? Shit. Take your wig off every now and again. You know what I'm saying? And go make gorilla noises, you know, with the Supreme Kongs and scream and shit. Dude, like that's the thing. Like as adults, we've quit dreaming, right? Like we're like, oh, I got to be like this and I can't have fun and nothing, you know, like shit, go have fun with other adults. The shit's cool. We're like 12-year-olds again. Yo, but Carrie, see, I saw you had your hand up, family. What's up?
Not much, man. I'm just chiming in to say to back you guys up on that. Like, I mean, like you said, you know, like when you're saying like, don't have fun, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Like, you sound like my dad, you know, and like, bless his soul. I mean, like, I miss the motherfucker like every day, but like, him and I did not see eye to eye on a fundamental level where like he was like, you got to go out and do what you got to do and work a fucking job and whatnot. And I'm like, I got to follow my dreams, bro. I can't just work in a factory or I'm going to blow my brains out or someone else's maybe. Well, not in Canada because we don't have guns, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, I can't do it. You know, exactly, man. Like, I know Turbo knows exactly what I'm talking about because we've had this conversation before. So, yeah, like, I don't know. I just want to jump up before the end of the show. I know there's only like 2 minutes left, so you guys take it away from here. But yeah, no, just big up like for like keeping it real and doing this show and like you know I love it. I'm here every fucking day, and I will be until the end of time. So
I love
Take
it,
it back for her, bro.
Till the end.
Appreciate you, Carrie. Like
America, man.
I sure do appreciate you so much. And like you literally, like what we're talking about now, where like, you know, the first time that it was maybe 2 months ago, somewhere around there, you came up as your first time talking on the show, and now you're hosting a Saturday show with Turbo. You know, the therapy sessions that we all need. And so, man, it has been so much fun for me, right, as the host of this show, to watch you become, you know, from previous shows that I've been on as a, you know, as a YouTuber, you know, you there in the community, now to here on Twitter Space in the community, now on stage, now you're hosting your own shows. I mean, that to me is the perfect evolution of what Web3 is, and how we can be, you know, collaborative, and how people can feel comfortable and they can take stage, and then they can also host their own thing and build their own brands. And I'll just tell you what, man, like that shit makes me so excited. American, what's up?
Didn't realize it was the end of the show. I had so many
good.
comments, so I'm gonna
You're
try
good.
to make this quick.
No, you're good, man. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to echo what Silver Shadow was saying about media. Do yourself a favor, if anyone does rely on traditional media, to not necessarily take that for the truth of what is put out there. And also do yourself another favor, if anyone practices this, is read the actual articles. Often headlines are misleading and don't say the truth, or just trick you to think something, but then it's totally opposite. Always find that. I also wanted to bring up education when you were talking a little bit earlier, is that I love what you said, and that's what we're, you know, that's our mission of what we're doing and what we're building, is to provide that education readily available as a private organization that's taking it onto a mission. And that's where our passion is, and our initiative that we've shared about with Wyoming is doing that on the state level, which is refreshing to hear. And Wyoming, in fact, just is putting into law to issue out the first CBDC, not necessarily. You know, you can argue both sides of that, whether it's liked or not, but it's a state that keeps pushing and challenging what the Fed is failing to provide to us, as we see what's happening with Binance and Coinbase. And so education becomes that much more important. And with that, financial literacy and then the responsibility of how to handle all of this ourselves. So I love everything you share as to what you're building, but I don't know all of it. And so going back to our thought of let's connect and get on a call and talk more as to what your efforts are, because this is how we're all gonna start making a global effort, is when we're working together with one another, when you have communities like this supporting and understanding of each other and working towards the greater good, and giving the middle finger to the man that's always stood in our way and holding us back, and creating that educational level that trains you to be a muppet in a factory for whatever the needs are of the economic conditions that are driven by the big holders, the 2% that hold the wealth. And so that's where our passion is. I love that that's what you guys stand for also in the communities and the spaces that you create. And as a side note, your motivational workouts are my favorites. And so please, keep going with those whenever you get a chance to remember. And so again, thank you. Thanks for allowing me to share, and hope everyone has a great day and a hump day and a week.
Heck yeah, man. Appreciate you being here. You know, you're more than welcome anytime. This is definitely right up your alley as far as, you know, what we're talking about, and can't wait to get in the back channels and really build out this idea and concept with someone who sees the ethos of what we do. So anybody, once again, you know, with this offer is extended to everybody, you know, not only about what we do here for the show, but, you know, in order to bring this reality to life, you know, it's going to take more than Turbo and I. So anybody that ever wants to be a part of anything that we're doing, all you got to do is just make your presence be known. Just let us know. And, you know, the more the merrier, because that's how, you know, the teamwork makes the dream work, baby. So, hey, anybody got any final parting words for the day? Are we ready to run this one out?
Yo, I just got schooled, Turbo, unless you got something. I got schooled, bringing it right full circle, about the bathing suit situation. Apparently bathing suits were nothing to do with getting bathed in a hospital or anything like that. It dates way back to like the ancient times, where women, not ancient times, but I guess like medieval times, where women's bodies were like not like accepted as like to be viewable or whatever, and they had to be like covered up, so they wore bathing suits while they bathed. apparently, it's like it was like an old medieval, old school kind of like British thing, I guess. That's what I'm hearing from the lawyer lady in my life, and she's like coming on pretty hard. So
I thought it would have been.
I'm not arguing.
I thought it would have been for the dudes to hide the junk, man. But how do you clean that under boob if you got a suit on?
Great. Now we're getting canceled for bathing suits. Well, we got it. We can't say the B word no more.
By the way, yeah, yesterday, I don't know what, like, we had a great conversation. It might have just been about the USA against crypto, but I got an email from YouTube in the middle of the night saying that I had clearly violated the community terms of service. Now, they said it was for medical purposes. I don't remember talking about the medical condition too much that we had, but yeah, no, they definitely pulled that sucker right off YouTube, and there is no chance of getting that episode back.
I'm going to tell you right now. Listen, that before we jump down to the bubbles, I got to make a comment on that, bro, because I had never felt more like revolution. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I felt like we was like on like if it was like a metaverse, it'd have been like Braveheart. You know, we had like all the soldiers lined up on horses and stuff, and that was like the show we were having before we all just like went and just took over the internet. It was nuts, bro. I was ready. I walked away. I started looking like, what do I got to do to register to run for president? Because I think I might have a chance now. Like, shit was fire yesterday. But Bubbles, you had your hand up.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to like quickly drop in about what you all said about, like, you know, the things happening in the world and with generations, like the current generation of like Gen Z. And I definitely like think it just goes to show, like, with Web3, because it is like a big part of it is immutability, and like decentralization is so important, because the fact that, you know, governments and companies are already like censoring and shutting down a lot of what people are building up just goes to show the importance of communities, especially in Web3, because of the immutability, and also just goes to show that, you know, Web3 is definitely here to stay, because a lot of people are changing their opinions on how they view, you know, a lot of things. And I think crypto and Web3 are definitely opening a lot of people's eyes on those issues.
Yep. 100%, man. It's just this is a fun attempt for the guys in charge to get in cheaper. That's it. That's all that it is. It's a distraction. And there's probably something else going on in the background, you know, with whatever, just to keep the distraction going. But that's all that this is. Like, again, I think I said this was either yesterday or on the show last night. The tech has not changed. The fundamentals have not changed. Nothing has changed other than the narrative coming from the government. That's it. So pay no attention to the man behind the mirror. He is literally just a little crooked coward trying to make some noise on his way out and make a mess for whoever inherits his position. But Gary Gensler, your time is coming, pal. And on that note,
great. Now we're getting taken down again.
It's all right.
Take us out, Jay.
Hey,
take us out.
So, yeah, it's hard to follow that one. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a great day today. It is Wednesday. It is Hump Day. Pretty soon we're going to be back to doing financial advice. This is financial advice with Matthew. Schedule's just kind of been in a conflict lately, but now that we are back streaming, back in action, I would expect that next week. So we'll start advertising that. We've got the show tonight. This is Working in Web3. You doing that at 10 p.m., Turbo?
10 p.m. Working in Web3.
All right, cool. So make sure you guys on the lookout for that link. Have yourself a great day. Remember, this is the last day to get in the ethereal nodes pre-sale, private sale. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure that you try to get into our Twitter DM group. That's where all the action is happening. That's where you get the hot alpha, and the opportunities will all be there. So if you want to be in, just go down to the purple button while the space is still going. Say, let me in, and we'll say not by the hair on our chinny chin chins, and that's the secret password. And then, or you can just slide into Turbo and I's DMs. But I hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow for some more Web3 breakfast, 10 a.m. Eastern, baby. We are the savages. We are the savages. And this is some AI with Jay-Z.
Peace. This is the future. We'll see y'all tomorrow, 10 a.m. Be there.